our first guest tonight to take up this threat to our sovereignty and the president's efforts to seal the southern border if necessary. Joining us tonight, Congressman Jim Jordan. He serves on both the Judiciary and Oversight Committees, also co-founder of the influential House Freedom Caucus. Thank you so much for being with us, Congressman.
You bet, Lou.
This is a remarkable statement by the President and the Secretary of State. They are saying straightforwardly, this does not happen in this administration. Your thoughts?
No, the President Trump and Secretary Pompeo are exactly right. As a sovereign nation, one of the things that defines you is you have borders. And as a country, you're allowed to enforce your border security, your border laws. You need to be able to control who comes and who goes. That's just a basic element of being a nation state. So I agree with the President and Secretary Pompeo and everything they said, that they are not going to let this caravan in because, as the President indicates, Lou, we don't know who's all in this group of people. As you said, it could be as many as 14,000, 7,000. We don't know the number. We don't know who's all involved in this group. So, again, as a sovereign country, you have a right to control that, and we should not let them in until we know who, in fact, they are.
Don't you find it remarkable that in this day and age that we are actually debating whether or not we have a group of people, particularly on the left, suggesting we don't even have a sovereign right to determine who comes into this country? The President himself has been campaigning on a merit-based immigration system, and yet the Democrats refuse to follow. Some in your party as well refuse to follow the President's lead.
A couple of things. One, the Democrats are talking about actually abolishing ICE. They never want to secure the border. Their nominee for president just 2 years ago said she wanted a borderless hemisphere. So they don't get just the common sense that I think most Americans understand, that we have a right to control what goes on that border. This just underscores the simple fact, we need a border security wall, just like President Trump has talked about, just like he campaigned on, just like we campaigned on, and most importantly, just like the American people elected us to do. But that will not happen if the Democrats take control of Congress. We will never get the border secure and never get that border security wall.
It is to me stunning to think of some of the likely House chairs. Adam Schiff could become chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Elijah Cummings take over oversight. Joel Nadler would take up Judiciary. That would be a lot of fun for you, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be scary, I think, for the American people, because this whole FBI investigation that we've been looking into, the wrongdoings at the highest level of the Justice Department, that would stop. And they would spend all their time going after the president, the first family. If they take control, they are going to try to raise taxes. They are going to try to abolish ICE and never secure the border. They will continue to socialize medicine, and they will attempt to impeach the president. And they won't continue the investigations that we think are critical, like why the FBI took one party's Oppo research document, this dossier that was uncredible, not validated, everything else, dressed it all up, took it to a secret court to get a warrant to go spy on the other party's campaign. They will never try to get to the bottom of that issue, but they will do all these other things.
And tomorrow, as you well know, House Oversight and Judiciary Chairman and the ranking members of those two committees will be talking with Rod Rosenstein. Whose idea was it to distill your majority into an even match? Whose idea was it to create this format and go along with it?
Yeah, right before I walked on, Lou, that has actually changed. That has been postponed. He is not coming. I think that is a good thing because I didn't agree with the format, frankly. The format that Rod Rosenstein wanted, so that has been postponed. Rod Rosenstein should not get any different deal than anyone else got. In fact, this is one of the things that drives Americans crazy. This idea that there's two standards now, one set of rules for us regular folk, but a different set if you're part of the politically connected class like Rod Rosenstein. So Jim Comey never got the deal Rod Rosenstein was trying to get. Andy McCabe didn't get that deal. He should come in just like everyone else, have to answer people's questions, and it should not be in a closed-door classified setting, because a closed-door classified setting means the American people will never know what his answers are. So I'm glad this is postponed. We need to get him in as soon as possible, but it needs to be in the right conditions where the American people can find out what he had to say.
Well, first, thank you for bringing us that news of that development. Secondly, whose idea was it to embarrass the Congress like this?
Well, I assume it's Rosenstein's. But remember, this is the guy. I mean, think about this. This is the guy who allegedly said he wanted to wear a wire to record the president, who allegedly talked about invoking the 25th Amendment, and he did that in front of subordinates. Whether it was in a joking fashion or not, we'll find out at some point. But he did that in front of subordinates. He didn't do that in a classified setting, so why does he want a classified setting to answer questions about those very things? Only reason is because he doesn't want the American people to know what happened. This is the same guy who won't give us the Andy McCabe memos that we've subpoenaed, who won't give us the August 2nd scope memo that he wrote, which altered the scope of the Mueller investigation, who won't give us the Jim Baker 302s or the Bruce Orr 302s that we've requested. This is the same guy, so I don't think he should get to set the terms. I'm glad it's been postponed, but let's get him under the right conditions as soon as possible.
Congressman Jim Jordan, as always, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.